YouTube, Tacoma Comics here, coming at you live on Labor Day. Workers of the world unite for a better world, better place, destroy all governments and corporations and all that stuff. While we're at it, let's take a look at what I got for the New York Warriors auction tomorrow night on Big E's Comics, home of the New York Warriors. I believe it kicks off at 9 p.m. East Coast time. I better check that because I'm going to be on, and it'd be kind of embarrassing to show up an hour late for a invite to a big place like that. So let's move this along and see what I got going on. Lot number one is going to consist of Batman Beyond number one. This book is as clean as you can get. What am I? There's a tiny tick there, right where that light ends, kind of opposite the tip of that building. So these are like, this is magnified. If you had this, looking at it like this, you wouldn't see a darn thing. Even looking at it like this, I'm hard pressed to see what I was just looking at. So tiniest of blemishes. Yeah, it's hard to see, but the book itself is just in beautiful condition. And we'll do a little bat builder lot because I like my alliteration. We've got the part one of the Mark of the Phantasm. Pair with that Batman Beyond number one from Capullo and Snyder. We got first cameo of Court of Owls. We got that great Jacques cover. We got a little Rebirth number one. Batman Incorporated number one. Rebirth one shot. Batman. We got a little Batman Rebirth action 1, 2, and 3. So that will go nicely. A little Gotham Girl first appearance, Gotham Boy first appearance, and cameo and origin story. Can't think of words. Words are hard. Got that beautiful Hans cover. So this will be a nice build a lot. People want to keep bidding. I'll keep I'll keep going. You got the lenticular button 22. Got that great story about when Bat and Cat are like in their 60s or 70s, or they're superheroes. Maybe they're in their 120s. I don't know, living the life and looking back on the life they've lived. Annual number 2. For GK3 Master Race, I've got this great DCBS discount comic book service variant. And we could throw in little Adam Hughes, Gail Simone, Batgirl number 1 from New 52. And finally, this lot will be rounded out with White Knight. This is the 4th printing. And then White Knight Special Edition. This one's got some glunk on it, so it's not really part of the lot so much as it's just something that I'd be throwing in. If you're just joining me, and I can see about 3 or 4 of you are, I'm showing off the books that I will have up for auction tomorrow night on the New York Warriors auction. I will be joining them as a special guest. My thanks and shout out to Big E's for asking me to join them. My second lot that I'm going to have up should dazzle you. The puns are horrible because I've got X-Men 130, first appearance of the Dazzler. All right. Hey, Jay Salsa. It is going well, my friend. See, this is not, perfect copy for a book that came out in 1979. You got a little brown spot there. You got some small ticks, nothing large. But overall, this presents beautifully. They should be very, very nice. And hey, if you weren't sure what to do with that, I'm going to pair it with this gorgeous copy I just picked up this weekend. my second copy, so I don't need another one. Beautiful Dazzler number 1. Dave, I'm going to start my bids at 1, but not till tomorrow when I got 100 and plus viewers. I wish I could give it to you for $1, but something tells me Silver Age Dave already has X-Men 130 and Dazzler number 1. That's just my guess. And then I don't even know if I'd include the auction. These will just be, I'll throw them in to whoever wins. The Bill Sienkiewicz 27 and 28. A little newsstand action there. These are just extras I have, so I thought it'd be nice to give away to anybody who's looking for that. Next lot I was going to do is kind of like it's going to be Build a Lot 2, and this is just a small spec lot, like not mini specs but low specs, I guess. I don't know how you want to call it. So Aquaman 2, first appearance of the Trench King. Don't know if that still commands $10 or if it's back to $1 book, but we'll see where the bidding goes. X-Men 4, first appearance of Omega Red. X-Men, very popular these days. I'll throw in Totally Awesome Hulk 1 and 3. So first Totally Awesome Hulk and first appearance of Kid Kaiju, who they were rumoring to be like this big new thing. Kid draws monsters and they come alive. And they have done nothing with him as far as I know. Doctor Strange, first appearance of Sidorak, which is really cool. Like I'm even myself, I'm like, who's Sidorak? And my kids were watching Infinity War the other day, and somebody shot something with somebody and something, and my son's like, the Enchanted Bands of Sidorak. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? So he knows. Got myself a little New Avengers action. This is hot spec book of the moment. This is when Atlantis declares war on Wakanda, or I think Wakanda declares war on Atlantis. So if you remember in Endgame, they referenced the earthquakes that are happening underwater and ruining the foundations of Wakanda. And everybody is thinking that's like a prelude to this for the next phase of Marvel movies. Always go with Angela, the Assassin of Asgard, because why not? And while we're at it, Hawkeye number 1, first solo comic for Kate Bishop. Anybody remember when this was a popular comic? It's just there. Got to get rid of it. I like this. A versus X, this sketch cover that is the 6th printing. I thought that was pretty cool. That's round 1. That's a small key, minor key. As is this one, first print. Number 1, first print, and then this is number 5. Those are all small keys. And rounded out, this one could use a press. I don't think there's any color break on it, but it's got some ticks, or it's got some creases. But this is a big spec book, actually, Hawkeye versus Deadpool, because it's got the first appearance of Lady Thor and the first appearance of Spider-Gwen, even though they're both kids in Halloween costumes. So whether or not you consider that a first appearance, I will let the chat argue, and the money will lay where it lay. And then the last one for that lot will be Spawn Ocho, because I have it. So that'll be a nice build a lot. That's already 3 lots. I don't know how many rounds we're going to go, 3 or 4 rounds. We'll see. Next lot I got is a single lot. And it will start with the black and white sketch variant of Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man number 1 by Chip Zdarsky. This is KRS Comics exclusive, I think, signed by Art Germ. This comic, I think it's in good condition. It's just there is a crease. Is it on this one? Maybe there's no crease. Huh. Maybe this comic's in perfect condition. I thought there was. I'm thinking of something else. Let's go take a look. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there it is. You can see going across that pouch in her belt. That can be pressed out for sure. And then on the back, I think we're beautiful. So anyway, my point is, in a 9/8, this is going for mega money, hundreds. And this is a pretty beautiful, clean copy. And I don't have anything at this level, but if people really wanted to continue the ladies, I could add some Fathoms, 1, 2, 3, and 4, all by Michael Turner, all from the first volume. Faithless, number 6. This issue has some problem. Have you seen the variant cover for number 6? Blows my mind. That's why I said it. This is number 3. It's got a few issues in the back, so throw that in. Remember when this was the hot book 5 months ago? Dark Red number 1, C2E2 exclusive, and Dark Red number 2. And then throw in a little Grimm Tales of Terror Halloween special. So that's a lot of ladies. A lot of the ladies. Again, don't really know where I'm going with these because I don't think we're getting past 4 rounds, depending on how many sellers they have and how quickly it goes. But better be over-prepared than have no comics left. So we'll be throwing up Lock and Key number 1, second printing. This is interesting because IDW barcodes back then, they're not the same as the Marvel barcodes or DC barcodes. It's just 00111111. But it's actually on the inside, it says second printing. And then what is that, issue 3? So issue 1 and 3. And then from the second volume, Head Games, we got issue 2. And is that, say, 4 or 5? Old Eyes. 2 and 4. And 5. And then from Crown of Shadows, we got issue 5. Both this regular and this free comic book day 1. And since we're on a horror kick, I'll throw in some witches with that. Nice little lot there. Really, at this point, guys, I'm showing off books because I don't think we're going to get this far, but you never know. Little indie number 1 lot here, much smaller lot. Phonogram number 1 by Immaterial Girl, Jamie McKelvey, Kieran Gillen. Alex and Ada number 1. Incognito number 1, Tooth and Claw number 1, Velvet number 1, Dying and Dead number 1, Last issue of Harbinger, I should say, first volume number 44. A little superhero number 1 lot here. Champions number 1, Champions 24, the school shooting issue. Champion 6, the Ian Hook Lee variant. Captain America, number 1. Shaded Changing Girl, number 1. New Superman, number 1. Super Sons, number 1. And Superman, number 1. Hey, Murph, these are all coming up tomorrow on the New York Warriors auction. Unless you're making a serious bid to try to snag something. But I assume you're just joking, my friend. Not that I'm not open to pre-bids, you know. I got 8 lots here, and I'm only going to get 3 rounds in the auction. So, a little Max Pitt. This is kind of cool. It's needs some pressing, but Spawn 4 newsstand. Hey, DS. DS, I don't know if you listen to the New York Warriors on Biggie's Comics, but they have an auction tomorrow, and I will be on selling much of my comics. Not much, just a bunch. Number 5, and then of course I get another copy of that number 8. And then I don't know if I'll ever get up to this, but at some point I got to sell these 3. Mr. Miracle number 1, second printing, number 2, and number 3. So yeah, those are the lots. If you missed anything, just catch on the rewind. Hopefully those will do me well and acquit myself well in front of the big boys in the New York Warriors. I know that some books have sold for lots of money on there, but I also know things have gone and nobody's bought them, so you never know. Wednesday night, I'm going to be live with White Whale Comics and John's Comics with Kids, I think on White Whale's channel. That one's late. That's 8 p.m. Eastern time, so that's going to be like, oh no, it's 11 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. my time. And yeah, the Batman Beyond is I'm going to sell that for sure. and that's we're discussing is their book of the month club. Somebody's killing the children, so I got to actually hit my LCS tomorrow, make sure they can grab me a copy because it's not on my pull. Yeah, they do bust balls a lot, so hopefully I can remember them from New York and I can keep up. You know, I mellowed out a bit now that I'm on the West Coast, but I know my roots. Motherfuckers better watch out. And then Sunday, I am on. I'm doing my own show, doing the next dissection. So die number 7's coming out this Wednesday. I'll be doing dissection. I don't know who's joining me. I got a whole bunch. I had to do it early. So Saturday, my in-laws are in town. We're having a barbecue, so it's gonna be like Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific Coast time, 11 a.m. East Coast time, and so I should be on with might be Bear Island. Natalie from The Comic Queen. I don't think John can make it. Might be adding that comic girl. Anybody that's interested, let me know. If you're reading Die, jump on. Lady Fantastic just got the trade paperback. I think she's going to grab issue 7 and join us. So, yeah, that's my week, man. School starts. I got to go in tomorrow and Wednesday for like orientation, you know, set your classroom up, listen to the principal, yada, yada, yada. And then Thursday, you know, the kids are there. It's back to the grind. I'm actually looking forward to it. I love teaching. I love my students, but you know, it's nice having that summer off. I can do a video like this anytime. Jump on live, you know, whatever. It just gets to be. Yeah, Murph. It's tough. It just gets to be a grind. So back to reality for sure. You know, making shorter vids on the weeknights and maybe only on the weekend. JP, hey guys, JP's got a nice show coming out. It's 6 p.m. tonight. He's doing a little recap of 2/3 of the way through the year. I think showing like what he was trying to get, like books he was on his hit list and what he's got. So be sure to check that out. Like I said, be sure to check me out tomorrow on the New York Warriors. Wednesday with White Whale and John's Comics with Kids, and then Sunday on my own channel, I'll be doing another dissection. Anybody that wants to join me for dissection, just hit me up on IG. Say, hey, I read that book. I'd love to join you. Just got to put your name in an email and StreamYard. It ain't no big thing. And that's really all I got, man. So if you jumped in late, just check the rewind. You'll see the books. You know, the big ones are clearly that Batman Beyond series, and then the Dazzler. You know, everybody's specking Moon Girl and Miss Marvel and Moon Knight. JP will tell you, you know, watch the graph. Those are the books that are up here right now. I'm saying buy Dazzler when it's still at like this price, because when they announce Dazzler, then it's going to shoot up here. So you all want to get in on that soon. I don't know what other specs are coming out. Like, what's good to get now that nobody's talking about? Yeah, no problem, JP. So I'll announce it later. I guess big surprise. I can't say anything. There is a reason it's Sunday. That reason turns out not to be a reason, but there'll be a reason when I do it on a weekend, why I do it on a weekend. Cryptic as that may be, I will let everybody know the big reveal when it occurs. So yeah, you know, Dazzler, I think, is the one that you want to jump on now. So like, I'll be totally honest with you guys. Just flip through these books quickly. This one I paid decent money for. It's my second copy, which is why I'm selling it. But this next one, this is from 1979. So this is 40-year-old book. I got this for $3 yesterday, doing some Labor Day shopping, right? This book definitely goes for more, but this might be the spec book that, you know, you're looking at, like a Miss Marvel #1. Is Miss Marvel #1 now, like the Kamala Khan Volume 3, that's gone back up from like a $10, $15 book to a $25, $30 book. Dazzler is a way more established character. I just think it'd be great. Taylor Swift is Dazzler. If that ever came to fruition, I think that would shoot these books through the roof. So I think the time to get in on Dazzler is now. Anybody else before we leave? What else is like good to get in on now? Because obviously Moon Girl, too late, right? First appearance of Spider-Man, probably missed the boat on that by 60 years. all new Marvel Now .1 and the Captain Marvel 14 and 17 for Miss Marvel. Those are skyrocketing. Lots of stuff skyrocketing after all the Disney D23 news. What has not skyrocketed, that's not being discussed, that you think is coming up soon? Anybody got something to throw out in the chat there? So it's not all just me drinking my wine and talking to you. We got some crickets there, so let us know if you got any ideas. I think it might be a good time to get on, and Lords of the Longbox just did a video on this earlier today. Get yourself in on some Kazar and some Sheena of the Jungle. That seems to be a possibility down the road that Kevin Feige has hinted at, but not like no established plans the way there are for some others. Clearly, Moon Knight. Hey, Ovatsify, man, that's great. I'm drinking wine while talking, so I know when school starts, I'm not going to want to have 2 glasses of wine in the evening, and I got to get rid of this one now before it goes bad. So drinking up. There you go. And the only beer I got in my fridge is like a massive Lagunitas specialty. I'll wait till the weekend to drink that. It's closed, so got to drink what's open first. I'm not sure I can think of anything else, like, people talking about Machine Man. That might be something. Micronauts might be something to hold on to. You've already missed the boat on, good job, comic book estate. 35 sold. Not sure what, maybe for the wine. Not sure what that's for. What else is good to spec on right now? That might be the big thing. ROM and Micronauts, right? Those seem to be the, and Machine Man. Those are books that may go up, may not. I know I'm glad I got rid of my Ray #1 when I did, because, we've been hearing that movie news forever, but I just haven't been seeing it. Plus my first appearance of Bloodshot. Vin Diesel eventually is going to get around to filming that movie, or maybe not. One that's held that's really interesting is Gambit, man. And I do not like Gambit as a character. I don't like the way he's been depicted in the movie so far. Might be a better way to put it. But, that 266, a decent raw copy peaked at about 100, and it's still about 80 or 90. Alpha Flight. Yeah. So Alpha Flight #1, you can still find $3 and $4, $5. Went to a store this weekend that was selling everything for $10 and had like 6 copies of that. If I could have found a nude stand, I would have bought it, but that was kind of weird. I found this new store that was just overpriced as all heck. But I think Alpha Flight, what's the first appearance? X-Men 114? Not sure. X-Men 120 is the first team appearance. X-Men 114 is the first appearance of like individual characters. Let's look it up, because I don't know everything. Anybody can do this quicker than me. Go right ahead. We're not racing. I mean, we are racing, right? But I'm not offended if you can type in the chat quicker than I can type in Alpha Flight. 5 comics. So X-Men 120 is the first cameo team appearance of Alpha Flight, Sasquatch, Aurora, Shaman, Snowbird, Northstar. X-Men 121 is the first full team appearance of Alpha Flight, Vindicate, Aurora, Northstar, Sasquatch, Snowbird, and Shaman. Northstar, first openly gay superhero in comic books. That was Alpha Flight 106. Alpha Flight #1 is the first team appearance with Puck joining them, a superb fighter with no mutant powers. Mariner, the wife of Namor. Tundra, a member of the Great Beasts. First cameo of Wild Child, and first appearance of Madison Jeffries. There is a variant Canadian newsstand cover for Alpha Flight #1. That goes for a whole $12. Alpha Flight 2, first appearance of Master of the World, first appearance of the Alpha Flight Omnijet. And then there's a bunch of Alpha Flights that are like $3 keys. But that X-Men 120, 121, as well as Alpha Flight #1 seem to be the big ones. Now, I'm not sure if any of those characters appeared earlier, right? Because that X-Men 120 is just the first cameo of the team, and 121 is the first team appearance. I know that James Proudstar obviously was in what X-Men, Giant Size X-Men #1. That's North Star's. All right. So, if you'd ever done a chat, like a live thing, you get these show hide if they think something's inappropriate. Brandon goes, I just started ironing my comics. It's fucking easy and fun, which to me is the funniest comment ever, but it got held for review, obviously, because there was a curse word in there. But I'm just like, I should be able to filter it. So any comments that make me laugh automatically go through. Brandon, welcome, my friend. I just went, I don't know how long you've been here. Oh, be quiet. I just went, you're okay. Sorry. Bear Island, drink. He makes me drink every time my dog goes on a tizzy. So, don't apologize, dude. Totally worth it. I tried ironing once. Honestly, I put like a t-shirt over one of my comics, see if I could iron out. And I think you really need to get the moisture in there from like a humidifier and then do a full press. The ironing didn't ruin my comic, but it certainly didn't improve it. And obviously I chose a piece of junk comic to do that with. So where was it? Yeah, I don't know if any individual members of Alpha Flight appeared before X-Men 120. I have to look that up. And I know that one of the Alpha Flights, one of the early ones, is like Jim Lee's early work too. So a bunch of good stuff coming up there. Anybody else with a spec that's not like, on the radar, rather than saying, hey, get Moon Girl if you can find it cheap. Can't find it cheap anymore. Is Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. That's that Marvel Superheroes summer special or winter special. That's like a $40, $60 book. So you're not finding that cheap anymore. No. What is out there that's good to get, that's cheap, that you think will blow up in the next yet to be announced phase of Marvel or DC? I don't know much about DC, but there's got to be some comics there that are coming out, that are coming up. Anyone? Crickets. I will take a sip of wine, and if nobody else has a book to discuss, we will end the shenanigans of mine. All right, I just started watching. So that's going with a big lot, DS. I was, I'm really want to save it for the auction so that I've got like a decent lot. If there's a lot of people, I was going to start it at $1, but I'm assuming it's going to go for like 50 or 60. So that's one I'm reluctant to sell ahead of time out of order. Sometimes I do that. I did that with my last auction, but it's kind of a little weird. And be totally honest with you, I don't want to screw up at the New York Warriors. So I want to make sure I've got like decent lots. So I think I'm going to hold on to that one. I will start it at $1. So if nobody wants it, it might go for like 10, 15. But yeah, I'm going to hold that one off. So sorry. Appreciate the interest though. I really do. I got it at Half Price Books. The guy had it out and I got a good deal on it. So, you can always keep checking there, see what you can do. But yeah, I just started watching The Deuce, which I guess is on season 2 or 3 now. David Simon produced a movie or TV show about Times Square in New York City in like 1971, the year I was born, and the seedy side of Times Square and mob involvement and porn and all good stuff like that. So I'm going to go watch episode 4 because I watched up to episode 3 midnight last night, and it's time to continue. So you guys, once again, thank you for being here. I see we had up 6 or 7 people watching, which is nice on a Monday afternoon, and a couple thumbs up. I got an auction. I got joining Alec and John for Wednesday night talking about Something's Killing the Children, and then I got my dissection Sunday morning. All right, take care, guys.